All right, so we've got another deep dive ready to go, and it's a really interesting one this time.
Yeah, looking forward to this one.
We've got a ton of listener-submitted stuff on activities for, like, really little kids,
1 to 5, yeah.
1 to 5, and just thinking about it, like, wow, that is such a time of, like, just massive development.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you think about it, they go from like barely even moving to walking and talking and like actually thinking for themselves.
Yeah, forming, like, actual relationships. Like, it's
Yeah.
just an incredible transformation.
And all in just a few short years. It's pretty mind-blowing.
Yeah. So that's kind of what we're going to be focusing on in this deep dive. One of the key things that we could be doing with those little ones to really set them up for success, you know?
Right, to help them be healthy and smart and happy, the whole package.
Exactly. And a big focus here, based on all the stuff that everyone sent in, was really on, like, real world stuff. No screens.
Yeah, so no phones or tablets or anything like that.
Right. It's about interacting with the world and people directly.
Totally. And what's interesting to me is how much the research emphasizes that, like physical development and social engagement and cognitive skills, they're all so interconnected.
Yeah. It's not like they happen in isolation.
Exactly. They all kind of build on each other.
Yeah. So let's start at the very beginning with the 1 to 2-year-olds. What kind of jumps out from the material for that age group?
Well, a big one is movement. Getting those little bodies moving, crawling, walking, pushing toys, climbing on safe, soft structures.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's like they have boundless energy at that age, right?
They do, and it's not just about burning energy. All that movement is actually wiring their brains.
So it's like literally building the foundation for everything else.
Exactly, like those gross motor skills, the big movements, they actually lay the groundwork for things like cognitive development later on.
Wow, that's fascinating. And also even like really simple games that we play with them at that age, like peekaboo or hide and seek.
Right, those are crucial too.
It seems so basic, but it's actually doing a lot.
Oh, it is. It's building trust. It's helping them develop their memory. Even at that young age, it's amazing.
And then what about language development at that age? Because they're really starting to absorb so much.
Absolutely. And one thing that came up over and over again in the research was picture books and singing songs.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's so important for them to hear those rhythms and sounds and see the images connected to the words.
It's like they're building this like auditory and visual vocabulary at the same time.
Exactly. And the repetition is key too.
Right. They love hearing the same stories and songs over and over again.
And that's how they learn. So it's great to just embrace that.
Okay, so then they hit the terrible twos, as everyone likes to call it, 2 to 3 years old. What changes then?
Well, their play starts to get a lot more interactive and imaginative. Think about like playing with toy animals or using cooking sets or building with blocks.
Yeah, you can really see their personalities coming out at that age.
You really can. And all that pretend play, it's not just fun. It's actually helping them develop important skills.
Like what kind of skills?
Well, for one thing, their creativity really starts to blossom. And then there's the fine motor skills, using those smaller muscles in their hands.
Oh, right. Like even something as simple as like scribbling with crayons.
Exactly. That all helps strengthen those muscles, which are crucial for things like writing later on.
And it's also a good time to start introducing things like colors and counting.
Yeah, and taking them out into nature, letting them explore the world around them.
Yeah, that's so important.
And another thing that's starting to emerge at this age is the ability to handle small responsibilities.
So like what, like chores and stuff?
Well, maybe not full-blown chores, but like putting their toys away, little things like that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It helps them feel like they're contributing, and it gives them a sense of order.
So then we move into the preschool years, 3 to 5. It seems like their brains are just like sponges at that point.
Oh, absolutely. Their curiosity is just exploding, and they're so eager to learn.
Yeah, so what did the sources say about how to best support them during this time?
Well, one thing that came up was the importance of structured routines. Having set times for things like story time or playtime or snack time.
Yeah, that creates a sense of predictability for them, right?
Exactly, which can be really comforting and helps them feel secure.
And then group activities also become really important at this age, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Things like drawing together or doing puzzles or playing games with other kids.
That's where they really start to learn those social skills?
Exactly. They learn how to share and take turns and cooperate, all those essential life skills.
And this is also a critical time for emotional development, isn't it?
It really is. They're starting to experience a wider range of emotions, and it's so important to encourage them to talk about their feelings.
Even the negative ones.
Especially the negative ones.
Yeah.
We want them to feel comfortable expressing themselves, and that's how they develop emotional intelligence.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, so one thing that all the sources really emphasized across all these age groups was outdoor play.
Yeah, that's huge.
It's not just like a nice to have, it's like essential.
It is. It's so important for their physical health.
Mm.
Getting them running and jumping and playing with balls and digging in the dirt.
And it's not just physical, it's emotional too, right?
Oh, absolutely. It helps them regulate their emotions and it gives them a sense of freedom. It just makes them happy.
And there was a lot of talk about like messy play,
Yeah.
letting them explore and get dirty and experiment.
Right. It's all about engaging their senses and stimulating their curiosity.
Yeah. Okay, so now for the big one.
Yeah.
The thing that everyone wants to know about screen time,
Yeah, this is where the sources were very clear.
like no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Pretty much the message was avoid phones and tablets for this age group.
And they gave some pretty compelling reasons for that.
Yeah, there's a lot of concern about the potential negative impacts on things like speech development and social skills.
And sleep too, right?
Right, can really mess with their sleep patterns.
So the emphasis is really on like real human interaction instead.
Exactly. Talking, playing, reading, those are the things that really matter.
Okay, so another thing that surprised me was that there wasn't a lot of emphasis on like drilling academics at this age.
Yeah, no pushing them to learn the ABCs or numbers too early.
So what is important academically at this age then?
It's more about building those foundational skills, things like attention span and curiosity and kindness and physical strengths.
It's like setting the stage for learning later on.
Exactly, and those things can't be rushed.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Well,
Okay, so as we wrap up here, I'm curious what you think are like the most valuable gifts we can give to kids in this age range based on everything we talked about.
well, it really boils down to a few key things: time, attention, the opportunity to play freely, and of course, love and affection.
Yeah, it sounds so simple, but it's so powerful.
It is, and the good news is it doesn't cost a dime.
That's right. No fancy gadget or app can replace those things.
Exactly, and that's really what it's all about, creating those loving connections and giving them the space to explore and grow.
Well, this has been a fascinating deep dive. I've learned so much.
Me too. Always a pleasure.
And for you listening, we hope this is giving you some food for thought as you navigate these crucial early years with the little ones in your life. Remember, it's not just about giving them knowledge. It's about nurturing their whole being and helping them develop into the amazing individuals they're meant to be. And that starts with those simple everyday moments, the shared laughter, the bedtime stories, the time spent just being present with them. Those are the things that really make a difference.
Well said.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, and we'll see you next time.